Was Troy wrong for how he acted in High School Musical 2? Yes, yes. But when we look at the greater picture here, all three movies in mind, what is something we noticed about Chad? He's not just keeping the status quo, right? This idea that we kind of expected Troy, okay, you got it out of your system, you're gonna conform back at the end of the day, right? Something Chad is also experiencing here is grief of so many things, right? Just kind of like what the grief of breaking the status quo and what that means, not just for yourself and accepting other people, but accepting the future that you had envisioned within the status quo of it all, right? Because we are not just saying, we are going to accept our friend as he is and embrace all of the new qualities that we're learning about our friend, right? We are also accepting a future that we thought we had with them. And that is something I really noticed, especially in High School Musical 3. You could really tell Chad thought like they were going to be the duo forever, right? The bestie duo forever. We are going to play basketball, until we're old men, right? So that he is in a way kind of accepting that like he has to figure out like what his future is, not in relation to Troy. Like it's not that Chad like relied on Troy in that way, right? But like this image he had of him and Troy getting into the same school, playing on the same basketball team, maybe getting recruited to the same basketball team in the future, like that was shattered for him. And you can really see how that affects his storyline, right? Because in High School Musical 2 and High School Musical 3, I think a lot of people like to talk about, especially in High School Musical 2, how like, well, Troy's friends were just mad. And listen, I think they were like, of course, if you see someone be given privileges, like, damn, you could get into school that I wanted to get into. I'm sure there was a level there, right? But I also like to look at it from the scope of this means that like one future is guaranteed, but mine isn't, right? Like it is breaking this idea that maybe Chad had that they were going to go for sure be in the on the Red Hawks together, you know what I mean? And in High School Musical 3, we kind of see this annoyance, right, from Chad because Troy is like, am I gonna do theater? Am I gonna do basketball, right? And he's not really looking to be on the same page as Chad as for sure I know this is basketball, right? And on top of that, he I'm sure not actually nothing. I don't think it is anything against Gabriella, right? But Troy has such an allegiance to Gabriella, right, to stay together. I imagine there was an annoyance there from the factor of like, well, we were always going to go to U of A and play on the Red Hawks together, and now you're A, maybe not going to pursue basketball, and B, maybe not even going to be in the same state as me because you're going to follow Gabriella, right? Like, I think this is an interesting way to look at it that I was thinking about because I don't think Chad, what may have seemed like Chad's upsetness and jealousy was really of anything like against Troy personally. I think it was the grief that was shattering, right? This image of how they were going to go about things together, how they were going to go about that future of theirs, right? And how it looked pretty aligned, right? They didn't have to face that one day, like they wouldn't see each other all the time, right? In High School Musical 2, Troy had said, like, like, this is going to be our last summer really together, right? Like, because at some point, like, we have to leave high school and we're not going to be, right? School really provides that proximity, that guaranteed proximity to be around those people in the way that, like, life just gets more complicated when you're an adult. And I just thought this was really interesting and I wanted to bring this up because I was really thinking about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, like, that is part of the grief of the status quo, right? When you let go of that and accept your reality, right? Like, where does that leave you and what future you had viewed for yourself or you and your friends?